Join me on a photo walk of the Midwest FurFest 2024. I went there with friends. First time going to this convention. Very interesting experience. I have been to one other furry convention called NIKKOR many years ago. They were a very different experience, which I'll get to. But anyways, let's get started with the photography. I was using my usual Nikon Z5 with a 28mm f2.8 lens. Considering most fursuits make people larger, it makes more sense to use a wider angle lens than my usual 40mm that I use at conventions. I think it worked out well. I did use my usual settings with face detect on, but I was tapping on the screen a lot. Of course, with the fursuits, it's not going to register faces as much as human faces, which makes sense, but it's very easy on the Z5 to just tap on the screen and focus where you want. Looking at the photography results, I'd say it worked out very well. I was using a minimum shutter speed of 1/160th of a second. Also good to use a higher shutter speed when I'm moving around a lot at these conventions. I'm taking photos quick, just don't want to waste the person's time. Using that faster shutter speed makes sense for my specific style of photography. For most of the fursuiters and other photos that I took, I tried to get the vertical full body shot, and then I also got closer with a horizontal landscape style photo. Get some variety, which is nice, and then I also sometimes crop the images to get a closer up one. Considering I'm using a prime lens, it just makes sense. The general process is I go through the photos, remove duplicates that I don't like, remove any technical errors, blurry photos, things like that, bad framing. This convention was very different than the first one that I went to called NIKKOR. That was many years ago, and I think maybe this community has changed. It's had more people come into it. There was a large variety of people, different ages, everything you can imagine. It felt pretty similar to regular anime conventions, sci-fi conventions, but there were some differences. People were very friendly. It seemed very similar to other conventions, but it does still have that furry convention flair to it. Obviously, the cosplay is pretty different. You will get some regular cosplay, but you're going to have a lot of fursuits. They're very easy to photograph. I'd say even easier than people photography because there's not as big of an issue with focus mistakes on the camera. So I actually really enjoy taking photos of the fursuits. They're surprisingly emotive with their fursuits on, really project their feelings through the suit, and I think that's great. And it's pretty easy to capture with photography. I don't know specifics about this community or their choices in fursuits, but there are clear differences. You have large full fursuits that are very, very expensive from what I've heard to purchase, but then you have a mixture of ones with just the head portion and then standard clothes. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of styling going on, accessories, making their outfits look really interesting and unique. The convention goers were very friendly. For example, my friend was wearing something from the Bungie Destiny game, and then someone came up and started talking about that. So I'd say even compared to anime conventions, there were more people at this one that came up to us and started talking to us, which is cool. There was, of course, an artist alley and a dealer's room. So many things to see, check out, especially like the glasses accessories for the fursuits. That was a cool booth that the guy was making and selling glasses that fit the size of a fursuit. I did try to take quite a few photos in the dealer's area to get an idea of what's available in this community. Obviously, it is quite different in some ways than anime conventions. There was another area as well. Obviously, I don't have any footage or photos from that area, but it's an option if you're interested in that stuff. Overall, I really did enjoy the photography at this convention. My friends and I had a great time. We'll probably go back. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sky Photography Bonsai. Thanks.